So sevens are international welcome, but where we are located here we say sevens. So who I am? I'm Daniel Neuberger. I'm an open source consultant and enthusiast. My scope is actually on doing all the stuff around information and event management. And yeah, the second in the row is nearly the same, but there's the S. For what stands the S? For security, of course, because it's the hot topic today. And yeah, all the stuff related to XDR, EDR, and what you need to run an open source SOC. And honestly, Elastic is a great open source based or open source tool to achieve a lot of goals in your open source driven SOC center. And I'm working with Elastic already since 10 years. Actually, I'm working at Netways Professional Services in Nuremberg, where you can find me and where you can book me to help you to get your Elastic environment running in the right way. And I'm also running a mid-sized beekeeping farm as a business family since more than 10 years. So, and I need to tell you something more. This day is the first time I'm out of my home office since more than, I don't know, where's my boss? He counted. So, since 3 years or 4 years, so to be on the open stage, yeah. So please don't eat me. So yeah, I feel like it's the first time. So okay, and what we are talking about? Don't be afraid. It's just the agent. So why you shouldn't be afraid? Using the agent is not quite spread as it should be, and we should clear that out today. And most of the question is, what does the agent, and has it a suitable integration for me or not? What brings it with it? What if my product is not covered? So this is the first time I tried to render an AI-driven picture, and I typed in render me a picture about the Elastic, about the evolution of the Elastic products. This is what I get. So I don't know what it's supposed to be, but some words there are, yeah, quite good and yeah, fit in the topic, or I would say so. Yeah. Let's have a look on the modern architecture. What is the Elastic Stack? Why we need to do that at first to really get the notes or the important thing why we should really use the agent is we need to understand the modern architecture. You know, I'm working with Elastic since more than 10 years. I started to work with Elastic, there was only Elasticsearch. Then we had this Lumberjack. Someone remember Lumberjack? Where consuming your memory, Java application, the system is exploding because the CPU is overloaded. Okay, then they took out the protocol, they invented the beats, and the whole stack evolved until today. And the base, for me, more than ever actually is Kibana. It's the tool for search, observability, all the SIEM stuff, discovery, analyzing, and also management. Kibana has now a management API. You can use it over REST or the Kibana web. And for almost everything, the right the management for the user, the roles, and so on. And also for, for the agents. So, and then you use it to analyze search, visualize, creating alerts, and you can work in a lot of manners with your data in Kibana. Then there is Elasticsearch. It's the middle of the stack. So it's the hub where you store your data. So you can run it as a data tiering node, as a master node to handle all the other nodes in the cluster. You use it as a machine learning node to do all the AI-driven stuff and to get forecasts and to detect automatically anomalies in your data. You ingest your data right into Elasticsearch. So back to days, it was not the first point where your data reached in. So someone has remember what was in the past the first point where your data hits? It was not Elastic 6 years ago.
Logstash.
It was Logstash, yeah. So the child of Logstash.
Right.
So and then we process and enrich. I remember the day, it was years ago in Berlin, and I met Monica Saru, which worked at Elastic and was involved in the development of all that stuff, what is around beats and so on. And they asked me, Daniel, what do you think when Logstash will be a part of Elasticsearch? Oh, we discussed 2 hours, but it happens. And nowadays, you do your processing and your enrichment in a better way in Elasticsearch. This additionally means, of course, your nodes also have to handle that resource consumption. And you store there all the things about index lifecycle management and about your snapshot. So you handle the lifecycle of your data also in indices which is stored in Elastic. Then there were beats, collect from host API, TCP, UDP. So now I follow up. Oh, it doesn't want to come on the screen. I don't know why. So there should be standing modules and processors. So we had a lot of modules and processors to additionally transform data and modules for product-related stuff. To use, this was the pre-stage, to use present ingest pipelines within Elasticsearch already, not in Logstash. Okay, now I have to come over it. And then there was Logstash. This many inputs, filters, and enrichment, of course, and multiple outputs. Yeah, great, but still valid, yes, of course. But if you want to achieve, the ability to use all your products and which are already covered in integrations, or all your products which are not covered in the right manner in the stack, you have to take care about a lot of stuff when you use it in the old way. So the complexity level is also very high in that scope. So this is why the latest architecture should be the Elastic Agent, and then the Elasticsearch, and then the Kibana. Sorry. But is that really the truth? Let's see. The Elastic Agent collects, use integrations, has an output, and a bit more things we're talking about later. And I know you shouldn't do that, but I call it just a framework. You know why? The beats are in this agent. They are handled by this agent. It's just a single installation instance which is using the beats. Most of the beats modules are already ported, and the integrations which an investigation is using are based on those modules. So, and it has a really great add-on. It has the Elastic Defend integration, which makes it really good XDR agent on your clients. And this is also something you cannot cover with beats and the old way. So architectural picture means we have the Elastic Agent doing the ingest in Elasticsearch and Kibana. But nowadays the clue, you know that guy? There's a MacGyver thing, you know? You have an address book, a really big one, a small row or something else, and then you pretend to save the world, yeah. Because you can still use Logstash between the Elastic Agent and Elasticsearch and Kibana. And why should you do that? If you have a decentralized architecture, yeah, or you need to have a 100% data loss prevention, you still need a Logstash because the Elastic Agent can only buffer the data which it is collecting itself on the host. And you have there a process buffer overflow to prevent, in a simple way, 100% data loss. So, the Elastic Agent itself. Short debate. Who is only using the Elastic Agent? Okay. Who's still on Beats with Logstash? Who? You see? Okay. Great. Someone want to give me an answer why? A short one?
Logstash is Swiss knife, we can use it for anything.
What?
It's kind of a Swiss knife, we can use for anything.
Yeah, the MacGyver Swiss knife, of course. so the beats versus agent. So the beats are really hard to manage. You can achieve it, of course, with configuration management tools. The Elastic Agent can do that. There's something which bothers me. I don't know if there's an update on it. If yes, let me know. The secret handling. The Beats has a secret key store, what the Elastic Agent does not have. So he writes the data into his configuration, but it's scripted with seed, which is hidden, stored also on the agent itself. So there's no extra key store. I don't know, as I looked last time, this is still not available feature. So, but the Elastic Agent is a single tool for nearly everything. Beats is not really that. Then you can configure it through the web and through the API, and you can centrally manage the integrations, not only the agents and how they are running, the integrations. Yeah. You can handle also your integrations. So what is collected and what is processed. So that is the agent engine. Then you have the agent on your host. You have the Elasticsearch database where the ingestion takes place. You can collect everything what happens on the host, but there are also integrations which collect data from remote, like your firewalls, your switch devices, and other API-related stuff. And you can also use it to store monitoring data, metrics, whatever. Yeah. So, what drives the agent? The base on the agent is a policy. The policy contains the configuration of an agent. A fleet server who assign or may not assign the policy to an agent. Why not? The agent can also run standalone. It doesn't need to be managed, because to manage the agent, you have to bring out a lot of stuff in your infrastructure, and you can also use Fleet to generate your policies and to deploy them manually. And why you really should use the agent? Why you should move? The truth is, it's the easiest way to take care of everything. That the built-in integrations like SIEM, the pre-built signal rules, the metric coverage burden, and so on, that all the stuff is working. Because in the integrations and what the agent uses, there are already templates built in which produces the ECS conform fields that everything is in the right manner. So, and the data is in your document is in the right format so that everything can use it, what you can do in the Kibana. So, like the specific field names for SIEM, your signal rule, and all that. And to achieve that also with Beats and Logstash in the front of, in my opinion, is very comprehensive and not really trivial. So. This is why I suggest, or I prefer to rely on the usage of the agent. So the fleet, I already mentioned the fleet. What is the fleet server? Surprise, it's just an agent. It is an agent with gadgets and sidekicks. So I need to look there because I missed the track. I'll speak a few. Sorry. So you have the Elasticsearch right in the middle. And then you have on the right hand the Fleet UI in Kibana, but you don't need to use the API if you don't want. You can write your own API plugins because the Fleet has also an API which is addressed over Kibana itself. So you that means you can manage your configuration stuff also in the CLI. You create policies in Kibana. The policies are written into Elasticsearch, the Fleet server. Get these policies, and he deploy it or enroll it. Enroll it is the keyword here. Enroll it on the Elastic agents, and also there's a keep alive between the Elastic agent and the Fleet server. So what makes an Elastic agent to a Fleet server? It's just also an integration. So you need a Fleet server policy, which uses the Fleet server integration, and it set up the Elastic agent in the into the Fleet server mode to manage your agents. Parts of Fleet, the Fleet server itself. So you have a Fleet server configuration, preset of servers. It can be multiple hosts, yeah, and you can put load balancers in front of so that can agents talk to multiple Fleet servers itself, or you can also use it in a proxy way, so you can talk to the Fleet servers over a proxy. You have to configure that also there. You have outputs. You configure your outputs. It can be Logstash. It can be Logstash. It can be Elasticsearch. It can also be a Kafka, and there are two more. Yeah. So Logstash and they should be said Kafka. So then you have the artifact registry. Another fact is that if you want to manage your agents with a fleet, means you have to bring it in place first time with an enrollment token, and then you are able to manage it from fleet. Not only the policies, you can also update the agents. But updating the agent means you need to rely on the packages, the zip and the tar packages, and they need to pull from somewhere the so-called artifact registry. The default is the artifacts.elastic.co. So yeah, if you are in AGAP environment or you are not allowed to call it from your DMZ set or something else, this address, then you are not lost, because the truth is you can run your own artifact registry in your DMZ set, in your network, or wherever you want. It's just an Nginx providing the packages. Yeah? So you can also use it in AirGap environments. Then the policy, the content of the policy, you configure policies in Fleet as well, and the content is the Fleet configuration, so the address where the agent is matched from, the integrations configuration itself, then the depending inputs, then handling the ECS and data streams. What is the ECS? I mentioned it now the first time, the Elastic Count Schemer. The Elastic Count Schemer is the key here. So if your data is not processed in that scheme, then the scheme integration, your signal rules, they are not can handle your data because the expected fields with the data type mappings are not present. And then also the outputs. In this whole thing, the data streams and namespace handling is also done. I don't have to take really care about that, as I have to do in beats or something else with extra options. So using data streams is also necessary, but it should be so I don't know. Who is still working with plain indices instead of data streams? Okay, I only have a half hour and 10 minutes. Okay, let's go. So, very hard. So the type, logs or matrix, then the data set, where it comes from, and then the namespace. And the namespace is also the key. You can profile your data. So NetSec, so network management, or Linux systems, or whatever. So then the integrations. Let's go to the integrations, the content of an integration is you have the data ingest definitions, like the pipelines and so on, and how the data is handled. Also templates and other schemas which should be used, then where it should be stored and how it should be stored, and the transformation routes. Then the different configuration options which are pre-built, for example, preserve original message, to don't let lost the original content, you ingest the pre-built custom dashboards and visualizations, and there are tons of integrations ready for you. But what to do if my product is missing? For example, I don't know, different kind of switch producing company, something else than Cisco, for example, or what kind of product ever. You can use custom integrations. Don't be afraid from that. You don't have to build your own package, because you can reuse custom UDP, custom TCP, and custom logs, for example. They are already there. You only have to take care about the schema and the source of my data and how I can map it to the ECS if needed, the pipeline processing and the creation of ECS compatible fields, and of course the data type mapping, which is most of the time already done by pre-built templates. Then a brief note about Elastic Code Scheme: you have to define field names, and it defines field names and their values. Consists of base fields like a timestamp. Consists of configuration fields, event category, event type category. For example, authentication. Yeah, type could be info or star or and for authentication. So start successful, event outcome is also something which belongs there. Event outcome success. So origin field, so where it comes from, the agent or the observer, the switch who records the data, and the agent who collects the data. Then the enriching fields like, I don't know, source IP field, source address field, or whatever. And then there is something very mindful if you create custom integrations, the related fields. And there are also a lot of pre-built integrations which are still missing those related fields. They are array-based fields, and they are also a field object. And there are related IP, there are related host, and there are related username. And why should you populate these fields? So every IP which appears within a document should be placed in this field, related IP. Every username which appears in a document should be placed in related username. Why? If I want to figure out what a user is doing about a whole scope, I just search in the array-based field related username. I want to take track about a specific IP. I search in the array-based field related IP. And why I need to take care about all that? I want that the built-in features like SIEM and so on are working. Also with my custom integration. So cut, we leave the slides, and now I'm running out of time, I guess.
7 minutes, relax.
7 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So let's switch to
So maybe while you're switching, I can use the time.
Yeah.
Can I have the microphone, please? Entschuldigung.
Yes, so while Daniel is switching, let me do like a quick announcement. First of all, apologies. We didn't expect so many of you people to come. That's why this room is so overcrowded. I'm really sorry for this. What will happen in the short break right after Daniel's talk? I would like to ask you, the people standing in the back, to move out from the room real quickly, because we will like take this wall away, right? So the size will be doubled. Okay, to accommodate all of you. Really sorry for this. I see we're elastic, we are flexible, we try to accommodate your needs. Sorry.
So now I get some extra minutes, or? Okay, so why we leave the slides? So I must confess I hate slides. So I want to have a quick look in what you can achieve and what we are talking about. So we have here all our settings. So we have the fleet servers, the outputs, and the agent binary downloads, the add effects, and we configure here all the paths, which are then coming together in the so-called agent policies. So we have here the Elastic Agent package, for example, which has the fleet server role, and then we have here the Elastic Agent package. We already have some integrations. I installed them in case of I lost connection, so I'm prepared as I was asked for. So we have system. System is something like standard, but we want to focus on TCP custom, for example. So I have a switch here, and then I place in the namespace. The namespace is called, I don't know, NetSec, whatever NetSec, because it's a switch maybe. So then we spin up on our Elastic Agent port where we receive the data, and then we have the dataset name TCP generic type. Please be careful if you're changing that. Avoid it if you are a beginner, because if you're changing that, you are doing a breaking change in the usage of templates and other related stuff. So keep that if you're starting, or you can also keep it forever in place there. So it influences then the name of your data streams in ingests, which are the baker of the data streams itself. And then we can give it default pipeline. I avoid it most of the time. I have special cases where I have to do it. And then, for example, so I don't want, call me a, so we call it vendor X, for example, for some switch, vendor X. Maybe there are syslog style. Then we say, okay, parse the syslog, and then we have only the not syslog based par in the message. And then we have here those advanced options. And those advanced options, I can address some processors and other stuff, but here's the mindful thing. The ingest pipelining stuff, okay? If I want to process my custom data, I have to take care about that they are in the right format. So, and here's why I can add a custom pipeline. And then I got this overview, and I can add my processors here, and I choose a pipeline processor, and I have pipeline X, maybe all somewhere in my system. I'm still developing. I'm faster than I'm doing now. I avoid to fail if it's not already there. So this is when I'm doing the stage build. So most of the time I start here, and maybe then I create the routing pipeline destination. So add processes. So that means I already told the integration to use custom ingest pipeline. So create pipeline. So the pipeline is modified. I'm still in integration. And then I have to do my custom mapping. So here I will place all my custom data fields. The already existing ECS fields I want to populate, I don't need to cover them here. Just totally new fields which are not already in the ECS scheme represented. Okay. Review, create. 2 minutes left to talk. Okay. So, and then so I forgot to press enter, NetSec, save integration, and save and deploy changes. So you cannot deploy something cross-add. So this agent is not roll up with privileges, root privileges. So, and yeah, now I'm set up to use that, and I have the pipeline. I configure pipeline X. So I prepared also something. The ingest pipeline. For example, this one. It's for a switch vendor, and this is how I can do it. I can write my processes, and yeah, it really looks a bit, or feels a bit like upstairs. I wrote my processors, and it's really important to do some basics to represent the ECS. The ECS default fields are already attached through specific templates in the UDP generic. Then I set the event kind. It's an event. This is something I have to do by my own. Then I also should, for example, set. I didn't do that. So append. Half a minute. Okay. Event category. So it's a switch. What category can be there? Connections is
Network.
Network, for example. So, event category maybe on some statements, but not. And then it's classified as yes. And then it goes on the top, and then I do my first categorization topic, save and deploy pipeline, and then I can start to enroll the agent and to ship my data in, and the data will automatically route into the specific pipeline. So yeah. Thank you.
Final slide.
Final slide, yeah, let's sum up. I leave that. So, some closure. And then you have the Q&A session. Pictures are from Elastic, GIFs are from Giphy, and yeah, the history pick is run up with ChatGPT. Thank you.